On November 1, 2003, the story of 14-year-old Charlene Downes in Blackpool, England, took a dark turn. Her story includes exploitation, murder, and a legal battle that exposed significant flaws in the system created to protect at-risk youth. This video delves into the alarming details of Charlene's disappearance and the subsequent events. Charlene Downes, 14, died on November 1, 2003, in the town of Blackpool, England, as a result of a terrible family situation. Charlene's life narrative turned into a compelling depiction of violence and instability. Rebecca, her eldest sister, was an important part of her family dynamic, having chosen to leave home early owing to their father's tumultuous conduct, particularly while under the influence of alcohol. The Downes family has a history of moving, having relocated from the West Midlands to Blackpool in 1999. The family's wish to avoid attention from social services, which had initiated investigations into charges of neglect, abuse, and the presence of predatory people within their household, drove this relocation. Within this difficult household context, Charlene and her siblings dealt with the ramifications of their father's violent anger. Charlene's existence was tainted by her father's hostility, which eventually led to their relocation. However, the family's transfer to Blackpool did not resolve the fundamental difficulties. Instead, it set the stage for a sad series of events that highlighted Charlene's fragile situation. Charlene's tale offers a striking picture of the obstacles experienced by vulnerable people within the setting of family relations. Set against the backdrop of this tragic familial past, her move from the West Midlands provided little relief from the hardships she faced at home, preparing the ground for a terrible story to unravel on that fateful day in November 2003. Charlene found herself at Blackpool Town Centre on November 1, 2003, with her mother Karen and sister Rebecca. As night fell, Charlene went out with friends, eventually disappearing in an alley on Abingdon Street between 10 and 11 p.m. Concerns were raised when Charlene did not come home, but her parents, Karen and Rebecca, waited 2 days before reporting her disappearance. The police first misinterpreted Charlene's absence as a regular runaway situation, a common mistake in adolescent instances. However, as her parents' fears grew, they sought aid from the media. Unsettling disclosures emerged at this time, exposing a dismal reality. Charlene, like many other young girls, had fallen victim to the unscrupulous activities of local kebab shop owners and other predators. David Cassidy officially named Mohammed Raveshi and Ayad al-Batiki as the perpetrators of Charlene's murder in 2006. According to Cassidy, Charlene had threatened to disclose their predatory behaviors, which would result in a dire outcome. Raveshi and al-Batiki were captured and put to trial. However, this legal endeavor was hampered by doubts about Cassidy's trustworthiness and difficulties deriving from low audio quality in recorded discussions. The terrible events proceeded against the backdrop of what appeared to be an average day, marred by Charlene's mysterious absence. As her family struggled with the disturbing truth, police enforcement originally dismissed the case as a regular adolescent runaway, causing the reporting delay. Nonetheless, the seriousness of Charlene's condition compelled her parents to resort to the media, revealing a horrific story of widespread exploitation of vulnerable young girls in the neighborhood. With David Cassidy's discovery, Mohammed Raveshi and Ayad al-Batiki were catapulted into the spotlight as the perpetrators of Charlene's death. Cassidy's accusation that Charlene wanted to expose their predatory behaviors gave the case a disturbing new dimension. The ensuing arrests of Raveshi and al-Batiki marked the start of a court struggle clouded by questions about Cassidy's veracity and problems caused by poor audio quality in recorded conversations. This trial became a furnace of justice, with significant impediments to the quest for truth, illustrating the difficulties inherent in pursuing accountability for such horrible acts. The prosecution told a disturbing story in which the accused men jokingly spoke about turning Charlene's body into kebab meat. Despite these charges, the defense successfully contended that the evidence was insufficient, resulting in a deadlocked jury in the preliminary trial. A retrial scheduled for 2008 was cancelled owing to a lack of convincing evidence. Both Raveshi and al-Batiki faced additional charges after their release, although none resulted in convictions. The police were chastised for mishandling evidence, forcing an internal probe and the retirement of a key officer. Further disclosures emerged in 2011, indicating a widespread practice of grooming and abuse of young girls by Blackpool takeaway operators, with Charlene being one of many victims. In the midst of these external trials, the Downes family faced internal struggle, symbolized by Karen's stunning act of stabbing Bob a week after the trial ended. Surprisingly, Bob chose not to seek charges, attributing Karen's conduct to the great strain caused by the trial's failure. At the same time, rumors began to surface about Bob's alleged encouragement of illicit relationships between his children and others for financial advantage. This thorough story reveals a tapestry of sadness, capturing Charlene's terrible existence within the wider context of community and institutional failures to protect vulnerable young girls. The intricate intertwining of family, societal, and legal issues highlights the continuous problems that affect people like Charlene, ultimately leading to a horrific depiction of a young life cut short amid a web of incompetence and abuse. Bob battled alcoholism, and one popular notion holds that he allowed his children to be used for money. As Bob would often invite strange males for drinks, the Downes family home housed multiple convicted pedophiles. Allegations against Bob and Karen date back to 1989, when a court document revealed a West Midlands Police and Social Services inquiry into a predator offering rides to their 3-year-old daughter. Bob's acquaintances were accused of improper behavior with the Downes children by 1999. Charlene claimed to have been improperly touched by one of Bob's buddies in 2001. That same year, she was discovered in bed with a guy in his 60s. Ray Monroe, another problematic guy, lived with the family prior to her abduction, and witnesses remembered Charlene sitting on his lap. Over a 15-year period, at least 16 males with child-related offenses gained access to the Downes family residence. Charlene went to the doctor 12 times, each time with allegations of bruising in her intimate region. Despite knowing about the clinic appointments, Karen stated she didn't think much of them. Charlene's blood was located in the home, which was to be anticipated given that she resided there. According to reports, the Downes family may not have cooperated completely with the authorities during the original inquiry. According to popular belief, Bob enabled men to have access to his children in return for money, perhaps leading to Charlene's accidental or intentional death. Some believe her parents helped cover up her death in order to protect themselves. Bob and Karen have maintained their innocence throughout. Over the years, other suspects, including the most recent one, Nigel Lloyd, have been questioned, but no definitive proof has surfaced. Nigel, a convicted predator, was recently apprehended and questioned, but no charges were brought against him. After nearly 2 decades, the mystery surrounding Charlene Downes' disappearance remains unresolved. Detective Chief Superintendent Andy Webster underlines the police's determination to discover Charlene's killer or retrieve her remains, offering a £100,000 reward for information leading to a conviction. Charlene has been gone for about 20 years as of the publication of this video. Charlene went missing in Blackpool on November 1, 2003, when she was 14 years old. Unfortunately, her whereabouts are unknown, and justice has evaded her, with no one ever convicted in connection with her tragic death. The finding of solid evidence showing that Charlene had been methodically groomed for the goal of engaging in sexual activities has led law enforcement officials to contemplate the uncomfortable idea that she may have fallen victim to a criminal gang. Despite intensive investigations, no concrete signs of Charlene have been discovered, adding to the mystery surrounding her abduction. The lack of closure for her family and society at large has hampered the pursuit of justice in this terrible case. Investigators believe Charlene's unfortunate destiny may have been related to the actions of a criminal group, raising worries about her possible exploitation and abuse. The unsettling dearth of definitive evidence and the lack of convictions highlight the difficulties in unraveling the events behind Charlene's disappearance as the inquiry grapples with the complexity of this case. The lingering mystery surrounding her disappearance, as well as the frightening possibility of criminal involvement, highlight the need for continuing attempts to shed light on this extremely troubling and unsolved episode in Blackpool's history. As the mystery surrounding Charlene's disappearance persists, so do the unanswered questions. How can we bring those who have vanished without a trace to justice? What efforts can society take to safeguard the vulnerable? Well, that's it for now. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, do like and subscribe to our channel.